Smash for the clout.
Going.
I'm out. Mashing for the clout.
Nice.
GT for the clout.
Alright, yeah, get my screen back up.
Smash for the clout. Dash. I'm out. Mashing for the clout. GT for the clout.
Hey, Susan's on. What's up?
Check on the couch. Check on how many with your friends say. Y'all keep making moves like a sensei. Don't nobody move, that's what I say.
Alright. We are here.
Welcome to CloutCast.
What's up? What's up, guys?
What's up?
So this is the first episode of CloutCast. Now what this is going to be a informal, badass. We can cuss on this, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I took my mom off the listening list.
Trey took his mom off there, so it's serious.
Yes.
Coolest guys.
What's up, guys?
Oh, we haven't even started. Awesome. Susan.
Yeah,
so sweet.
We're up and going.
So what this is going to be is we're going to bring kind of the up-and-coming people here in Lubbock. We're going to see what they're doing. And this isn't just straight business. This could be business. This could be arts. Really whatever you have a passion for, bring it on down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what makes you, you. And we're always looking for people who just want to seek out opportunity. And in saying that, we'll do a little introduction. I'll start with my boy Trey right here with Trey Side Media.
What up?
Tell him about you.
I'm Trey. I am the founder of Trayside Media, and basically we do digital marketing. We specialize in social media, everything from content creation to Facebook ads. Basically, we work with small businesses and try to bring a digital attention to their business organically and other ways. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do a lot of other stuff. We do a lot of video production and stuff like that, but mainly that's our bread and butter.
Sweet. And Trey, what Trey's doing right now, and I apologize, we have 2 Facebook Lives, so if I'm just going back and forth, is that reason. So what Trey did, he's doing really progressive type marketing for here in Lubbock in general, but he's doing things out in Lubbock that no one's really seen as far as how marketing goes. It's definitely not traditional. Everyone here, I'm excited about it. Trayside Media is definitely going to be something to look for here real soon. And it's a little introduction on myself. My name is Devin Phillips. I'm the CEO and co-founder of RD Innovations, Wants to Find. And we're really trying to change the way, as far as industry goes, we're trying to change the way people shop for cars. But our main goal is, again, we just want to find people who have a passion for something, who are just tired about reading about big things happening around them. You know, they can't use the excuse of, well, I'm from Lubbock, I'm from West Texas, and you just got to read and see about big things happening. We want those same type of people who are tired of reading it to come over here and let's make something happen. You know, whether that's in the auto industry, whether that's in any industry possible, this is a place for it. But to get in detail, we make virtual reality merchandising and handle big data and anything else nerdy. So that's me. As far as our first guest goes, I'm very excited about this. These are good friends of mine, but on top of that, these guys are really doing something that Lubbock's also not known for at all. When you think about Lubbock, you don't think about any type of design wear. You don't think about anything really trendy. You know, trendies come here later on. Well, these guys are changing it. These guys are starting to trend. They're doing it big. And honestly, you've probably heard about them. They are, about 8,000 following followers on Instagram.
No more, actually.
Growing a little bit.
Yeah.
As seen on KCB, like on the news,
Local news, man.
Yes. I mean, I see them everywhere. So if you haven't heard about them, you will very soon. I'm going to pass it off to them. These are the guys at Braxley Bands.
Sweet. So my name is Braxton Manley.
I'm Grant Andrews.
We're the co-founders of Braxley Bands, so essentially what it is it is the world's first elastic Apple Watch band. And what we're really trying to do with the company is build a strong lifestyle-centric brand to it, so it becomes something more than just a tech accessory.
Yeah, we've been, I guess I'll just give a little bit of background. We've been a company now for about 1.5 years. We started as kind of like a school project type thing here at Texas Tech. Since then, we've had many retail stores. We got our website going now, so we're kind of, just steadily trying to grow the company and continue to expand. But I mean, every day, just working on new things. We just, like I talked to you off mic a little bit, we just put in our biggest order yet to date with a new manufacturer that we're working with. So, really just trying to just keep growing with that stuff.
Scaling it. Yeah. So one of the kind of unique things about what we've been able to do is scale from essentially $0. We both put in, I think, probably like $20, honestly, maybe. And
That's
and
wild.
That's ridiculous.
even, I don't know if it was that much, but we started with a very, very small amount of money, and we were able to sell out to our buddies, some girls, and just our close friends, about $100 worth of material. And when I say that, I just mean elastic from the internet and these little metal adapters. We were stitching it ourselves. Grant took a sewing class in high school.
Yeah, not really by choice. There's a backstory there, but
It's fate, man.
it came in handy long term.
So we borrowed my grandma's sewing machine. This kid was chief seamstress of the company for a few months, and we kind of were able to, we just kind of kept pulling our money back, putting everything we made back into it, and we took a little bit out, but mostly we're just putting it back in to fund, eventually. Now we just placed an order for 10,000 units out of China, and actually concurrently we have bands being made, about 2,000 being made in Austin still. So, I guess we can go into that real quick. So we are getting to the point now where our U.S. manufacturer can't really keep up, and there's a reason everything's made in China.
High demands.
Right, and so that's what one of the things that's been hard from scaling from zero is growing fast enough, and we are both still students. We haven't technically graduated yet, although it feels like we have. So balancing growing this company and trying to grow it as fast as it could be growing, and also being students and making at least C's in our classes has been a challenge.
At least C's,
and keeping a good social life, that's important.
Yeah,
we still managed to go out.
Yeah, so
that's hard. For sure.
so I'm actually wrapping up my last week right now. After this week, I'll be done, graduating in August, and then he's about to hit summer 2, and then finish up 2. So then after that, it's really just where we've been trying to get to for a good year and a half now, just solely focus on business, and it's close, and I think we're both super excited just to put all of our energy into one thing and really just see where we can truly take this.
Yeah, where you can grow it. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's always interesting trying to find that balance of like work life and then like your social life, and then y'all have school on top of that. I mean, it's hard to find that balance, but you almost have to in order for each aspect to level out. Like if you don't have a social life, your work life will end up sucking because you're not all there.
You can't burn yourself out. That's important. I mean, I think Americans and especially in startups, they like to have this grind mentality where, and that's good, but it's not necessarily healthy to be working 100 hours a week, because the truth is you might not have to work 100 hours a week if you're smart about what you're doing. And that's something that's like very I don't know what the word is, like.
It's pretty much counterproductive.
Because
I know you did a study where it's like, I want to say after 70 hours, your productivity starts decreasing actually.
And you got to get sleep, that's important. Sleep's important.
Sleep is important.
And so something I want to get into, so we're software people, obviously. So when it comes to hardware, I have no idea.
Right.
So when you're contacting these manufacturers, how do you get in contact? Is it you just call until someone answers, or emailing, or how do you pick somebody and enroll with them to then eventually order that much bands? I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of risk.
That's not been an easy lesson. You can get to going.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of been a huge working thing. That's been definitely a big learning thing. As soon as we got the guy in Austin, we thought, we're set. We finally found a guy. We can outsource the stitching to the the full manufacturing of the bands. And then before you know it, 2 months later, just the growth we've seen and the scale of it, we were like, all right, well now we got to make the next step. And really, it just kind of came through just honestly kind of stumbling upon each one of these guys. Filling them out a little bit, seeing if they can really work with us to get to where we want to get to. And so what we didn't really mention yet, our middleman to China right now is just webbing company who does who has it's basically a big elastic company, and they have a guy there who's really helping us with the communication to China, with all just the minor details, helping us work everything out.
Shout out Steven.
Yeah, he's been
he's our boy.
He's been a huge help to
that's something that we would never have been able to do as quickly as we did without his help. I mean, he's been able to really connect us to these manufacturers in China, and also supplies the elastic. One of the cool things we've been able to do recently, and our first line of them are getting manufactured now, are full custom designs. So we can essentially put whatever we want on an Apple Watch band with really, really high quality feeling elastic. It's awesome. And
do you feel like eventually you're going to be able to like maybe like on your website, get on and like, I want to customize a band that says, Trey or something.
Yeah.
And like you think eventually
we hear that a lot.
Original.
Like Nike.
Yeah, super original.
Can I put my name on this one?
Yeah. This is funny, dude. One time we were at West Table brunch, and of course we get seated next to Bart Rager, and we're like, oh, dude, we know Riley, and we start talking to him and stuff, and tell him about what we're doing. He goes, "Give me a band that says "fuck you" on it."
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, give me a band that says, what is this famous thing?
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Like, let's roll is probably a little bit more practical.
Hey, it's trademarked, so watch out.
But
But yeah,
that would be cool. It's
even-
just figuring out how to do it.
even like the the like you were saying, customization. It'd be cool just to get like, hey, I want this band, but I want these adapters.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can see a little bit earlier. Not as like the custom elastic more, but like just the pair this with this
Right,
more.
yeah.
So
Dude, it's like a blank canvas. There's so much you can do with it. I mean, it's like, where do you even start? And all right, let's get into this. So this is just like the first thing. Like there's a lot of ideas in our heads for other products using an elastic component that we want to expand the brand on everything having an elastic component. So build this really cool lifestyle brand, but everything almost it makes it a lot more practical. So whether it's a ball cap or a whatever it may be, that's probably the one we're going to release next is a Braxley hat, because we have this prototype and it's awesome because it's got the style of a traditional snapback, good looking hat you can wear forwards and backwards, but it's comfortable because it's stretchy.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I think we really want to expand the brand on becoming this elastic centric lifestyle brand.
So I'm behind the curve here. I have not got to. I don't own one, and I haven't got to try one. Can I try one on?
We should have brought one for you, dude.
I've always wanted to try
I didn't
one.
even know
They
you
look super
had an
comfortable.
Apple Watch.
yeah.
Wow.
All right,
Right.
y'all are watching this. Trying on
So-
for the first time.
So I want to kind
What are these
of.
comments?
It's going to be about.
Oh, there's just people trying.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
actually got
I
some
got-
questions over there or something. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
maybe
on.
we got music
Oh,
questions.
and shout Will Shidos, my boy from Coronado, respect. And Heather actually works with us here. So we're at the RD Innovations building, 1718 Avenue F. And real quick about us, we're actually a partner with the Rager Dykes Auto Group, Bart Rager, Rick Dykes. They're incredible people. They are good friends of ours, so shouts to those guys.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to ask, and it's going to kind of transition to the whole Lubbock mindset also, is what I love about Braxley Bands. It's most companies who you would call progressive here in Lubbock, they're reactive. Therefore, you see something already successful, say in California or East Coast or somewhere else in Florida, and then they bring it here because there's already success. These guys, I mean, as soon as I heard or even thought about getting an Apple Watch, these guys were already running. These guys were doing something that I haven't seen before at all, and now people are copying. They're being reactive on y'all, but y'all were the first kind of proactive, especially with design and trend wear type that I've seen. So, one, how do you approach that? How do you become influencers in that? And then two, why do you think Lubbock's like that?
Yeah. I'm just gonna split it.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I think being the one quote I love, Harry said, we're kind of people copying. You can't beat something that you copy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can only, you have to be more than that. You have to really, do something different in a sense. But what we're trying to establish really is just the full brand of Braxley. So yeah, some competitors that have come up, they might have the similar product, or they don't have a backing brand. They don't have we're real big on our social media, our Instagram and all that stuff, just putting out content that doesn't just reflect the functionality and everything of the band itself, but an overall.
Well, and so
brand.
that's why we have such an advantage over these people who are now being copycats. We have two people we know of that are basically making the same stuff, and it was bound to happen. But I'm not worried about it. We got a guy in China, and this guy is selling the same designs as us, but he's selling a tech accessory. He's not selling something more than that like we are. I
Brand.
think a real strong brand, and we'll always be able to beat him on design. We'll always be able to beat him on user interface on our website, and just the overall feel of it. And that's why I'm not worried about anybody copying us. They can. I mean, have at it, people. I mean, but I'm not.
Let's do it.
It's not gonna happen. Like people will try, but we, like I said, it's a blank canvas. So there's always designs to create.
And I feel like whenever it's your baby and it's you've grown this thing from the beginning, they're not going to be able to copy the passion and just the amount of work that you're willing to put in to beat the competitors.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's the way I kind of feel about what I'm doing. I feel like there probably are going to be people that try to do some of the things that we're doing at Trayside Media, but I'm almost like, you know what? I will almost welcome it because it gives me like that drive to even push harder and push myself further.
It's capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Competitors are fun. I mean, it's one, if no one's copying you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And someone always has to copy you. That means
It's
they're always
reassuring.
behind you. No one can copy you if they're in front.
Yeah.
And again,
True.
I like what you say because y'all are selling a brand. Y'all could pretty much sell anything as far as y'all are Braxley, and y'all just happen to be selling bands.
Yeah.
And if y'all should go follow, and definitely by the end of this, tell me y'all's Twitter handles, Instagram handles.
Yeah,
Sure, of course.
absolutely.
But once y'all go follow, y'all see it. It's a lifestyle they're selling. It's really a way, and it's fun and it's new.
Well,
That's why.
and we're incorporating a lot of comedy into it as well.
Oh,
We're having fun with it. That's the point.
Yeah.
We're not taking ourselves too seriously because at the end of the day, we're both 22 years old. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're trying.
Yeah. I
Um,
love the fact that y'all teamed up with like Total Frat Move and like all those other. What was the father company?
Grand X.
Grand
Yeah,
X,
Grand
Buddies
X.
of ours,
That's a cool move right there. They're always doing some fun stuff. So.
Yeah.
And hey, I'll throw this out there. This is super, super comfortable. So lightweight. The most lightweight Apple Watch I've ever worn.
Well, we should have brought you one. You have one?
Yeah.
I drove. I guess I might have one in my car. I'll see it after this.
We'll get it going.
Yeah, I got 4, so I'll definitely back that claim.
There you go.
It's solid.
Yeah.
One of the other things I was going to say about like kind of how I guess I don't know how to say this, but like we were really the first people that were doing unique Apple Watches. That's really where the idea got started. And when I had first got my Apple Watch for my birthday, like I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever, the only bands that existed were like black, just plain black color, and they were all just solid colors, that rubber material in it.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't comfortable, they didn't look good, and I was like, I was entering an entrepreneurship workshop at Texas Tech, and I had to come up with that business idea. I was like, all right, well, why not cool Apple Watch bands? That's all it was, just cool designed Apple Watch bands. Didn't have the elastic idea at first, and so went into this whole thing. That's where the name got pitched. I didn't come up with the name. It was a girl in the group who did, and we were like, all right. And I was like, all right, I don't really like the name, but like it'll be a working title until we come up with something better.
Yeah.
And then we never did, but I like the name now.
No, I like it. I like it. It sounds
It
good.
works. It works.
Yeah,
And
it works.
what's good about it is it's not a real word, so like nothing exists with it. There's no handles taken, there's no domain name. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, it took me about a year to eventually come up with this elastic idea. I had kind of almost put it on the back burners. I always had this entrepreneurship mentality, but I was like, all right, I don't really know what my next step is on the Apple Watch band idea, and so kind of was just like chilling in my room one day, and I saw, this is true, I just saw a sock on the ground, and I was like, what about, I mean, it's kind of like an epiphany. I was like, what about a sock material? So I cut up that sock. It had kind of like a cool design on it, and hand stitched it onto one of these adapters and wore it around for like a couple months, like showing everybody. I was like, check this thing out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this company. They're like, dude, that looks horrible.
Check the sock out.
Yeah. But anyway, we that's really how the idea kind of started, and then we just went from there.
That's
So,
awesome.
so this is the biggest thing anyone should take away from that. Just go out there and do it. Just do it. If anyone's came out with that brand, I don't know. No, just do it.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Because here's the deal. So, for example, our story, a real quick story. We were on spring break, went to a music festival called Buku, New Orleans. Jayden, who's notorious, he's one of my business partners. He's notorious for losing his cell phone. So, sure enough, we're at Buku, loses his cell phone. They go to the beach afterwards, but he needs a phone because spring break. So he gets the Galaxy S7 because it's like the cheapest phone at the time. Well, that's the only phone that came with a VR headset if you bought that phone.
Nice.
So he bought it just because he needed one. Well, fast forward a week later, he gets sent the headset. And then we're at my house. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're playing with this VR headset. We're like, oh, this is cool. And they were like, man, what if you buy a car like this? And we just like freeze frame. Like, that would be dope. That would be cool. So we stayed up for 2 days straight, just chugging Red Bull. I wrote up a business plan. We took it to the bank, and then they funded us, and then we started. That was a little over 2 years later. You know, I didn't grow up wanting to be like Steve Jobs or like wanting to be like this big CEO type. You know, I just wanted to do something, and then one night we thought of something and just went with it, and then we failed 1,000 times to get to where we're at, but we just roll with it. So it's really just about just stepping up and doing it.
We always say, you know, apologies to the people who first bought our bands. You know, whenever I was stitching them, and I think he even hand stitched a few.
Oh no, the first ones that went out were I had no sewing experience. But I was literally just pulling a needle and thread through the seam.
Yeah. So
it really broke by the time it got to them.
But yeah, moral of the story, you just got to begin somewhere, and then, you know.
Well, and you can't be worried about, you know, failing or being embarrassed. You know, your friends, or, you know, maybe they're not real friends, whatever. They might look at you and be like, all right, look at this idiot trying to start something, you know. But
what are they doing? Like, what do they know? That's the way I look at it now. I'm just like, whenever somebody says something about my business or something like that, it's like, well, who's it coming from? Like, unless it's coming from somebody like a Bart Rager, somebody who has like serious influence. It's like, you know, I really don't care what you have to say. I think it really doesn't matter because I see the vision. They don't have the vision that you have.
Yeah, and don't worry about those people because they're always going to be haters and they're never going to take that first step to actually doing something great.
Yeah.
But it's not going to start out great.
Yeah.
It has to start off shitty. And then you learn from trial and error because I know that school doesn't teach us this stuff.
Yeah. So
we all know that.
We'll get into school in a minute. I want to talk about that. So one of my favorite, the worst things you want to happen is the first product you have is successful right away.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know what work takes. Like one of my favorite quotes that Bart says is, a lot of people, and this is what we're talking about, like people who are just born rich, they're born on third base and think they hit a triple.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is, you know. And you just don't, because you have to fail. You have to take 1,000 no's. You have to be looked at stupid. You have to be looked at crazy. And, you know, I don't know if y'all know Seth Godin, but he's incredible. In his podcast, he says, and this is why we like to do these podcasts. If you have 1 million people watch this, you want 95% of people to think you're crazy, because you just want that 5% of people who really see it. You want those guys. You know, you want those people to either join you or buy your product or move forward. Because you're not looking for the masses. You're looking for those who want to make change.
That can be applied to a lot of things. It's like finding your niche, you know? If you try to get everybody to like you or everybody to like your idea or everybody to buy it, your product, you're not going to be successful. Find that niche. Get rid of the 95% of people who don't eat it. Who cares about them? There's always going to be that same amount, that 95% of people that won't eat at your restaurant or whatever it may be. Get rid of them and focus on that 5%. Those are your people.
I totally agree.
That applies to everything. I mean, it applies to friends, dude.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. No.
Absolutely.
So we have this thing here I tell my guys. Yes. I tell my guys here, like, you're not a different businessman than you are the person at home. You're the same person all the way through. So when you wake up and when you get here and when you go home, it's not like you hang your hat and you get in the house like, all right, I'm home Devin now.
Yeah.
You know, your character, the way you are with people, the way you care for people, it should be the exact same all the way through. So yeah, exactly right. I mean, anything that can apply to business can apply to everything, because that's just a personal character. You know, it's a personal choice. Mm-hmm. But I do want to get into school, which, hey, if y'all want to comment what y'all think about, you know, college degree, what college is good for, go ahead. We're willing to answer some questions, not any questions.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think about?
There's a lot of people on here. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised.
So I'll kind of jump in.
Yeah, the college experience. Yeah, what do y'all think about the
So,
college experience?
you know, you often hear, I guess, from like the entrepreneur side of things, like, oh, like school is awful, don't go to school, you don't need it, blah, 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 which I agree a lot of on many aspects. But I would say from just, my experiences in general, I think the network from school has allowed me to do, so much. I mean, even just meeting him, all of our friends who've helped us, build the business up until now, who have supported us, a lot of those, like, sure, I might not have, learned how to file a business and find a manufacturer and do all that, but I think, even just the connections I got from it, I would say were, was worth it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of takes on that, a lot of different angles on the whole college thing, but But yeah, I'd say the networking itself, and the fun. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
But there, I'd say there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, college is, I think, really good because of the extra time you have while you're there. So, you go to class 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, but then you have the other 21 hours, whatever it is, to do whatever you want. And if you're spending all that time watching Netflix or, just smoking weed on the couch all day, then you're wasting the most free time you'll ever have in your life. Because it's not easy to be an entrepreneur when you already have a 40-hour job,
Yeah.
And so that's what college is being at, is connecting with people, shout out Delt. Shout out all of our friends who we met at Tech that were able to even just, buy our first shitty bands that I hand stitched or came to help us out. We tell our buddies like, hey, come hang out at our office, talk to us, like, whatever, we'll give you a couple bands.
And then all those people are gonna go and tell all their friends, hey, have you heard like Braxley Bands, like my boy, my brother, he started this, and then it just like kind of spiderweb effects.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's really important. I'm coming from a different point of view. I dropped out of school early. Yeah. I did one semester and I was out of there. It wasn't for me, but I definitely see the benefit in the network. And just being able to get out there, out of your comfort zone, and do things that you've never tried before, I definitely see that as beneficial, for sure.
Yeah, you also have the more grind mentality, though. You're the type who's gonna meet the network and make yourself in the right position just because of who you are. Which I think if you're not like that, is where I was kind of coming from. It can kind of help you push your way into that. But
sure. And you experienced that early with that senior year program. That's something I wish I was able to do. That's cool.
Yeah. So just we were talking a little bit before we started this. I was a part of a high school program that basically it's similar to the Texas Tech Innovation Hub, but it was geared more toward high school, and like all our projects were like how we got graded. They would hook us up with clients. They were real world clients. Like I worked with a sandwich shop, and we worked on developing an app and a website, and then our clients were the ones who graded us. It's a really cool system to set up, and it really prepared me kind of for the business world. And I really don't think I'd be where I'm at right now if it weren't for that program. So it was cool to get my feet wet, and I would love to see high schools like that pop up across the country. It kind of makes me upset that I was only one of the only ones to experience it because it was so cool. And if you had an idea, if you wanted to invent something, they had all the resources to help you make that idea a reality. And like there was no bad ideas. Like if you had an idea, they wanted to help you and push you in the right direction and get you in front of the right investors to help you start making money right at high school. One of my best friends, he created a software. It's a lot like Shazam, except it listens to ads. And so if you hear an ad, you pull out this app, and it'll listen to the ad, and it'll pull up the closest locations to find whatever they're advertising and the cheapest places to find it. And then he ended up selling that software to Shazam for $100,000 when he was 18.
Nice.
And
like that, like that's
awesome.
such a like young people always hate on young people, but young people have fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And you can't discredit them just because they're young. I mean, look at all of us. We all own our own businesses, and we're all under the age of 25.
Yeah.
And I think
we're the most in touch with pop culture and with the latest, tech marketing trends.
absolutely.
Marketing was my major, and I learned a little bit from that, but I learned more just by looking at Instagram.
Yeah.
Scrolling Instagram for, I know it's kind of a waste of time, but I learned a lot from that, more than a lecture would teach me.
Yeah.
Just on what brands are doing, because everybody's on Instagram. That's number one. Just build a brand. Get on Instagram.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Shout out Gary V.
Gary V.
Sorry.
I think Gary V's been an influence on all of our businesses.
Gary V single-handedly. Gary V taught me that when it gets hard, it's like, damn, I don't know if I can get through this. I chose this. You can't bitch about it.
True.
You can't complain.
True.
When you have something that you feel like you just can't get through, it's like, all right, you chose to be this. If you want to be that type of person, be up there, then you're gonna have small problems. You're gonna try to do something big. So he really made me feel like a bitch a lot.
Yeah.
He's aggressive.
He is very aggressive.
That's
man.
good.
I love him.
He'll
I
wake you
love
up.
him
He'll
though.
wake you up.
He's like, my favorite days are Sunday because I know you're not working.
Yeah.
I'm watching that while I'm on my couch on Sunday, like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, I hate Fridays.
Yeah.
I'm like, but so to kind of chipping on that, I'm kind of the middle of that. So I dropped out of college when I had 17 hours left. And the reason B is because, one, we were growing too fast. I couldn't tell anyone here, like Bart, anybody, hey, I know we had that meeting, but I have an accounting test.
Yeah.
So like I gotta chill. And then we have interns and we have things I had to take care of. But I got to a point where my level of progression was plateauing. Because I completely agree with Grant too. What you learn in college is the human connection. It's the ability to be able to network, the ability to be able to problem solve, learn how to study, learn how to work. So the actual material they give itself, to me, isn't always doesn't progress your knowledge base, but being able to meet people, being able to network, being able to see ideas, and you can find a mentor there. I mean, I found most professors who have helped me and have really shown me kind of steps to take, because again, you don't know what you don't know, and you'll learn real quick. You don't know a lot.
True.
And then once you start learning, you'll know that you even know less. So it's.
Yeah.
I do believe college is a great thing for the connections, but I also believe there's no 4-year plan. It might take you a year to learn that. It might take you 7 years to learn that. There's really no, all right, now I have my degree, it's gone. It's more of a, when have I made those connections, and when have I made something to really shoot my career forward. And so college dropout life.
Yeah.
But
True.
I'm not saying to drop out.
Not really.
Yeah. But that's kind of what I was saying with him. It's kind of your willpower. Like you're a person who had, you already had something going, who had his mind on something, who knew that you weren't going to take no for an answer. You weren't going to you weren't going to drop out and then hope it worked. You were going to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I kind of think if you are kind of leaning that direction, you better be on your game.
You got to have self-discipline.
Yeah. Something like
Yeah,
that.
a lot. Yeah.
Still a little bit.
And there's two different kinds. There's self-discipline with the kids who make 4.0s.
True.
And, they're smart people, but then, these people who are getting by with 2.0s but spending all that extra time not studying, learning on their own, those are the people that are going to be more successful.
It was funny, my my management professors said when they recruit, they look for kids who have between 2.8 and 3.1
Really?
GPAs, because that usually tells them they know how to balance schoolwork, but they also have a full-time job most likely. So they actually have career, they actually have experience in the workplace world. So that's funny that you Clayton has dropped by.
Hey, what's up?
He's
Clayton?
our genius programmer.
Peek in here. Tell the world hello.
Very good camel Peter though. Hello everyone.
That guy's crazy smart. He's definitely a big reason we're gonna be making a lot of money in the future. So shout out Clayton.
Straight workhorse too.
Straight work.
That man will be here until 5 in the morning.
So you know how people incentivize people to work here longer or work at their job longer? I literally had to incentivize Clayton to leave before midnight. I had to have serious conversations with Clayton. Said, "Hey, you gotta leave.
Yeah.
You gotta leave. You can't be here.
Rest.
Go home.
Chill out.
So that guy, he's passionate. That's why I love that guy. I love what he's doing.
Shout out Clayton. He just ran away. Good work.
I had one more thing I wanted to really bring up. I totally forgot.
Well, we were shooting for 12 minutes. We're at 32 now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Any closing remarks?
Sweet.
yeah.
I mean, thanks for having us on. I know this is the first one. I think it's going to be exciting to see where even just this podcast progresses.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this again, and once we get good at this.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at this.
Yeah, bear with us, people. But moving forward, and this is kind of just off the podcast. Even like when the cameras and mics are off, I would just kind of sit out like an encouragement to y'all, whoever's out there, whatever. Just get like a group like this that even off mic you can go to. With we all own our own companies, do this or that, but we're all so different. But we're still able to get that network together, meet weekly, whatever it is, and just really help each other out. I think that's huge to have a group of friends, or just whatever you're doing, you're just pushing yourself every day.
The biggest thing that what really changed my life and the direction I was going was whenever I started hanging out with people with equal mindset or similar mindset. And really, it starts to change your mindset. It wasn't even the mindset I had; it was the mindset that I wanted. Whenever I started surrounding people with that I saw they had the mindset and the ambition that I wanted to have, that started to instill in me.
Yeah.
And you've got to surround yourself with people that can encourage you, but B, that they can help you grow and you can get advice from. Because like you said, we all have different perspectives. We all have different businesses, and that also generates new ideas and fresh ideas. And just being able to network with people like that has been, just so key in changing the direction of my life and getting a business going and growing it. And just to everybody out there, like, that is the most important thing, is surrounding yourself with equally minded people.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I got one more thing, because we were talking about some really good stuff before the podcast started, and I wish we had mics on us. But one thing that we talked about that I liked was you got to exercise your creative muscle. So if you don't have a creative outlet, find one. Whether it's playing guitar, drawing,
like that,
or starting a business, which that one is not even the point. Like it should be something that you do just purely as a hobby for fun. And exercise that creative muscle, because it will benefit you in all your other aspects of life. And it's something that schools and corporate America, it kills creativity, because you're so everything's so linear and everything's so the opposite of open-ended, I guess, is close-ended. I don't know if that's whatever, but what I'm saying is exercise your creativity like it's a muscle, and it'll really, really benefit you in a lot of other aspects. And especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, find something else that isn't just entrepreneurship to do, that is something that you have to learn at. So my example is music. Pick up an instrument and learn it, and have that self-discipline with your guitar or piano or whatever it is, and you'll see those same things that you learn, applied to other aspects of your hopefully of your business that you want to start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. I used to be that workhorse that did pull 110-hour days, and honestly, my productivity skyrocketed once I made myself take a half day, take a break, go back. I hadn't played basketball in like 2 years, which, if you know me, ball was life for like the longest, and I hadn't played golf in like a year and a half, and I was all like work mindset, got to get this successful, and it was actually being counterproductive to the point where when I made myself back up and I had a problem that was too big at the time, and I actually set aside time to go play basketball or go, whether that's golf or going to do something, whatever, I would come back, get nice rest, and I had the problem solved, or at least have the components to get closer to that. Because by me getting away from it and let my mind relax and actually look at the problem from a different perspective, so that's huge. We want to, again, like you said earlier, we have that, especially in America, that grind lifestyle where you have to be here, 14, 15 hours a day. When really, if you can work smart and you get a good group of people around you who make up for your weaknesses, there's no reason where you should be here that long. And so he hit the nail right on the head with that one. And so this has been awesome. Definitely want to keep on doing this. And again, what this podcast is for, selfishly, if we're being honest, this is for all of us to learn too. I love it. I love having these great people on, because they know stuff that I don't know. You can learn something from everybody. So whatever they're saying, I take in. And if there's one thing that can help me, I grab it as fast as possible. So we want the same for y'all. If y'all have any business ideas or any ideas in general, again, you want to be the people who are tired of reading about it and y'all want to do it, hit us up. DM us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Yep. Anything else out there? If anyone plays Fortnite, I guess you can do Twitch.
Get that work.
Yeah. I don't play. I didn't even know Fortnite was a thing until like 4 months ago. But anyways. Yeah, hit us up. Let's talk about it. I mean, that's the main thing here. We want to build. We don't want to knock down anyone who wants to start a business. We're not going to be like, oh, that's your competitor. Like, we're not going to try and knock down your ability for us to grow. We want to grow people around us, because then that'll make us grow too. So
I think part of the foundations of this podcast is we really want to be a part of like this innovation movement in Lubbock, Texas, which is technically known for being super old school and super behind the curve. Well, we want to kind of change that and start pushing Lubbock toward that direction. And a part of that is, growing the other entrepreneurs in Lubbock and helping them out wherever needed. Because, we see Lubbock as being the next super city. Like, it's on its way. The way that it's been growing lately, and for the last 15 years, the economy's just been booming, and it's been steadily growing. The school's doing great. The agriculture around the cities it's the backbone of the economy. And so we see a lot of growth happening in Lubbock, and we want to be right in the middle of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out Lubbock.
So cool.
Shout out Lubbock.
Love this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that'll wrap up the first episode of CloutCast.
Woo!
Hit it with the
Holler at us.
Solid.
Hey. All right. Peace, guys.
That's good.